guys, DT here. Welcome to another video taking a closer look at the hot pot and how it is against Lieutenant Hammerman. So I'm going to bring you the showdown and the face-off of Hammerman versus the hot pot. And the reason I'm going to show this to you is I feel that Hammerman has a really wild variety and wild range and of all kinds of troop combos, and of course that allow us to take a closer look at how the hot pot is able to take those troops down and what combinations work against taking down the hot pot. So let's go ahead and go quickly through every stage of Hammerman. Right now we're in stage 2, and I know stage 2 is really super easy. Even currently most people can get through stage 2, I'm sure, and you don't even have to have super strong prototypes like the hot pot. So I'm sure there's no need for it, but hey, there is so much fun in watching the hot pot flaming down all the troops, so why not? Personally, I start changing my base layouts and kind of getting a little bit more challenged with the Hammerman as it is right now at stage 4. So everything up until stage 4 is kind of really cake, but I decided to show this to you anyways because it is a brand new prototype, and I feel like having as most face time with it as possible is going to be super beneficial because you can see how it works, you can see how beautiful it is, how powerful it is. And just a quick reminder, I have two hot pots on my base right now. One of them is level 3 and one of them is level 2, and I feel that way you'll be able to kind of see the difference, you know, in the amount of time that it lasts, because it has a various amount of health, and of course how quickly both of them can take down all the troops, especially the level 3 one. Now for stage 7 I had to make some major adjustments, and we're gonna get there in just a moment. Stage 7 was the most difficult and challenging stage with the current layout and all the single every single building on my base had to kind of been shifted a little bit. And also, guys, just a reminder, I am using Supercell's developers build, so the way that things look right now may not look the same when you see the update and when you are interacting with the app post the update, so keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and keep on going, keep on grooving and moving through every single stage of Hammerman, and let's go ahead and jump into stage number 4. Stage number 4, as I've mentioned, is where I usually start changing things around on my personal base, and here I didn't have to do a single thing until stage 7 because these prototypes are so strong, guys. All I did is click defend and then set back, relax, and watch the troops get completely taken down by the hot pots, and look at how quickly everything falls victim to them and just goes down and burns to the ground. And then take a peek at the little cluster of grenadiers. As I've mentioned in a previous video, grenadiers can actually outrange the hot pots, so you just have to be really careful in reflaring them because they can get a bit closer, but it's not because their range is bad, but it's because their aim is funky, right? So they're not aiming at a particular defense, they're just throwing at things, and that means that they're gonna start getting closer to the hot pot, but they can indeed outrange the hot pot. So you probably will be seeing a lot more people using grenadiers post the update. In the previous video where I was talking to you about the details on the hot pot, I've mentioned that the range is 6.5 squares, and that gives it a 13 squares diameter. So what it means is that, like I said, you have to just really carefully reflare the grenadiers when you're using them. And I've also mentioned to you that I think the 2 lane or both way push is going to be very powerful. You will be able to see right over here when there are troops on both sides of the hot pot that it is actually much easier to bring it down. So what ends up happening is that while the hot pot is flaming at the troops on one side, the troops on the other side are taking it down because it is not rotating at 360 degrees and taking troops down on each side. It is concentrating on one side at a time, therefore allowing you to take down the hot pot. Now let's go ahead and jump into stage 6. This is getting closer and closer. The troops are able to make it further and further into my base, and as I've mentioned, stage 7 really is where I had to make adjustments, make a few changes, and I actually had to defend multiple times to get through stage 7, and you will see that in just one moment. I will show you the final takedown, or the final defense rather, and I will just explain to you what changes I've made. So through stage 6, the troops are now getting closer and closer. They're able to take down the hot pot, and it is of course because the waves are coming in stronger, and as I've mentioned, the two-way pushes are definitely working. Personally, I may just end up avoiding the hot pot and flaring my troops around it. If there is a way around it, I think that's what I will be doing, just because I don't want to have to lose out on the troops. If it's not a friendly, if I'm going up against a real player base, I don't want to be losing the troops and then having to retrain again. So if I have to, I will go against it. If I can't avoid it, I'll probably try to reflare. So let's go ahead and jump into stage 7, and this is the 4th and the final defense. What I had to do, guys, is swap my statues, and I had to start boosting the ice because otherwise things were very challenging. The Hammerman got and zipped through my base in absolutely no time, and in addition to that, I've changed the layout just a bit, where I had a lot more economy buildings in between defense buildings, so that while the troops are concentrating and taking down the economy buildings, my defense buildings are actually able to knock down the troops and stop them from getting further advanced into the base. In addition to that, I also swapped my level 2 hot pot that was in the beginning of the base for another level 3 hot pot. So I had 2 maxed out hot pots, and I also was boosting both the health and the damage per second of each of my defense buildings. So that was the only way I was able to defend. And if you guys have liked this video, go ahead and click a like button, smack a like button. Don't forget to stay in tune and in touch with the Boom Beach on their Twitter and their forums for more details on the update, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.